I present to you an old classic of Magic. So, cards will start out in a shuffled manner, wishing to be fair with the audience, okay? And a card can be selected by really any means possible, whether it be spread, fanned. Let's just go with the case of dribble. So, I ask Spectre when to stop. They say stop right there, and I can show it to them. They can hopefully note it. Hopefully you can see on the screen. And then we drop it up, or drop it, lives inside the pack. I am just off today. I apologize. And it can be followed up with a couple other shuffles or whatever it need to be as well. We just want to make sure we're being as fair as possible. So we're going to use a spectator for this. We invite a spectator on stage. We ask a name. Let's say it's, I don't know, Monica. Monica, I'm going to need your help. Okay. And what I need you to do is, got deck cards here, and we're going to try to have you sense it. And it's the same, I mean, we could do it if you want to give the psychic vibrations. You could use a second spectator for this, but realistically, you would want to use the same spectator for this. So I forgot that detail. So depending on how you want to play it. Anyways, we have the spectator grip the card in a specific way. 4 fingers on top, thumb on bottom. Okay, make sure they got it correct. Just like clamp, boop, and we got this position. Okay, and I said I just want you to think of your card. Okay, really think about it, or the card that was selected, depending on the context of performance. And then, when you're ready, focus. 1, 2, 3. And you can slap all the cards away, except for that King of Hearts. And that is Slap It. Oh, the stuff I do for my magic. Oh. So I hope you enjoyed that effect. If you can, before we continue, leave a like. And if you aren't subscribed already, subscribe for more awesome magic content. So, with that out of the way, let's go into Slap It. I made a video before, but I am going to remove it, as this is just going to be an overall remastered and just better version of the video. And because I omitted some important handling changes, and actually made the slap guaranteed, and could even be done in a spectator's hand, which is cool. But first, you want to start out. You could present it just on your own doing this, and eventually, because it's more magical as spectator's hands, then you can do it that way. But going to the method, it's pretty much simple leading up to the slap. Card is selected, and if you don't know the card selection control process, I have a whole set of videos on this if you check out my channel, and then go down to card magic or beginner magic tutorials. So that said, we just do a normal card selection, whatever you feel like. You do that, you can do a fan, whatever. Card shown, okay. And for the context, it is the 7 of spades. Kind of funny. So we got the 7 of spades, and then we control it. And again, I'm just doing an explanation, run through explanation. So again, you would not want to see the card. Card shown, okay. It could even just be, the spectator can name the card, and then you can call it out and then do the same effect, which is like a mind-reading thing. You just thought of it, and I slapped it, and it worked, and that's pretty cool. So there's different ideas. I'm just doing a more rudimentary version for right now. So we get show the card twice, because you never know who is inebriated in your audience. And then we dribble the cards on top, maintaining a break. And so we got break above the selection, and then do a triple cut, half the packet, half the upper packet, the rest of the upper packet, and then the selection on top. Okay, so again, card can be dribbled back or whatever method you use to control it, half at the break, and then drop it on top, and we control that card to the top. So now we control it to the top, then you can do, if you want to, you can even do some throw-offs or leading down garden path. So you could do a riffle shuffle and have one card go on top of the selection. And then after the shuffle, you can show not on top, not on bottom. And you can show both cards very clearly, top and bottom. And you go, no. And then you could continue on. So that's just a bonus thing if it's your style to do that. So we then ask, we can do it ourselves. I'll suggest that we can do it ourselves, and then you can adjust to the spectator's version. So in this, I try to make it very clear that for the instructions of the spectator, because this is the crux of the routine. 4 fingers on top, thumb below. Okay. And originally I accidentally made the suggestion in the original video to put the thumb on top. Don't do that. I learned that the hard way when in an actual professional show because it's less reliable. But if you want total reliability, thumb at the back, and because the selection is right at the back. So thumb at the back, 4 fingers on top. And then we just go with the straight downward motion, slapping all the cards out. And all the cards will fly everywhere. That's part of the craziness of the effect. And we're going to nail it in one shot by just slapping down the packet. Do not slap down the spectator or your own hand. That will hurt. And we just come down and then slap it. And believe it or not, all the cards will fall except for this one. But because of the chaotic nature of it, cards will fly everywhere. And so this is meant as a closer or encore effect or possibly a one-off. And that is it, because you won't be able to do card tricks. And your cards are, depending upon the context, if it's rain or water, you've just ruined your cards for a card trick. So you gotta determine when it's worth it to do this effect. So in action, it would look like this. Grip the cards, okay? And then you would want to be not tilted, but straight when you do this effect, okay? And so excuse me if I'm slightly out of frame when I do this. And then coming down, boom. And then there, this, if it's what's done with the spectator and done correctly, it's again will be their selection, just in their hands like that, and which is very powerful. One of the very first side tangent, one of the very first magic tricks I ever saw was a student of Mr. Laird's. He did a card trick for me. I forget his name, Steve? Can't remember. My apologies. And I just remember him doing it in my hand, and he slapped it. And by slapping it, and just that card remaining, just staring at me. Is that your card? And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. So I wanted to add my own little take on it to do it, like a more standard handling to that effect. And then be able to actually cover just a classic in Magic. It's just that you hear about it or read about it in basic Magic books, but you're just like, nah, wouldn't want to ruin the cards. I get it. But for a special context, again, whether it be an encore, a closer, or just as a really special one-off, it can be really special regarding context, when it's not raining. Otherwise, this brand new deck of cards after the effect goes bye-bye. So that's important to consider when considering this effect. So I'm glad I got to make the correction of putting your 4 fingers up here instead of this position. Makes it more reliable. And for my practices, the trick, I gotta be honest, the trick works like 90% of the time. There is an occasional time when it doesn't work, but having all the correct tips, being fingers on top, it being a straight way, slapping really hard upon the pack to get to that one card remaining. There's all these things reduce the chance of it becoming more reliable in the long run for you as a performer. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you can, leave a like. And if you haven't seen this video or this video yet, definitely check them out. And I will see you in the next one.